Sunday morning! It's about 11 a.m. We have a goal of about $315 today to complete our $1,000 weekend challenge. There's a couple things that we have going in our favor. It's Sunday. There's a couple of big football games today. There's also no school tomorrow here because of Martin Luther King Jr. Day. To start the day, we got this Panera order, $11 for 3-4 miles. Picked it up, dropped it off. Got to take a really cool elevator ride. Elevator ride and a fountain. It's the twofer. And we are back on our way, headed back towards the restaurants to try to get ourselves our next order. Well, that was deader than dead. So I did something I rarely do during lunchtime. I turned on Instacart. They have a little promo going on of a guaranteed $58 in base pay when you complete 6 deliveries today. While I was moving to try to reposition to some other place, I got this Instacart, $19 for 11 items for 5 miles. It's not a perfect order, but I think I should be able to get it done pretty quick. We shopped that Fresh Market. We ran into a little issue. The pie that they wanted, Fresh Market did not have. So I grabbed one of the replacements that were listed. And then they're like, hey, I don't really want the pie. Well, it was done and purchased. I called Instacart and they said, we'll refund them the pie and then you can dispose of the pie. And yes, I can dispose of a pie. As we were dropping it off, we got notified that our total from our Panera order, which is the only other order we've delivered so far in like an hour and a half, turned out to be a $17 tip. After that, we grabbed this $36 Instacart from Total Wine & More. It's actually a double delivery, so there's 2 drop-offs, and there's a nice tip on it of almost $25. We should be able to get this done in an hour, and I'm just happy to be doing something at this point because it's been such a slow start. You have those days where everything is hard and nothing works. That's today, but part of the grind, part of the side hustle is that you gotta just keep going. Got to the liquor store to do the purchasing when I realized that one of the 2 customers was actually a retail store, and it is against Instacart policy to deliver alcohol to retail stores. They actually just sent out a notification on this on December 21st. And so I'm not gonna risk my account. I called Instacart and they removed that order from my account. The good news is I still got full batch pay, which was the $11, and the retail store that was buying all that alcohol, they were only going to tip like $4. The people I dropped off to were super nice and friendly. They are getting ready for football tonight, and so I just had a fun little conversation with them. After that, I got this $6 for 3 mile horrible junky order that I'm taking solely for the purpose of staying busy. While going to drop that first watch off, we grabbed this $33. It's gonna take us about 16 miles total because we have to drive to the store as well. But we were closer to the store after the drop off than we were when we accepted it. It took longer than I expected, but we are done. Everything is dropped off from that double Publix order. It did take a little longer than I had hoped, but some good news. One, the previous Instacart order we had, we got a notification that they updated their tip. Then with this second drop off, this one that we just did, they also increased their tip, even while I was there. So they were really appreciative of working through some substitutions and stuff like that. I just noticed up here, bird pooped. That's really awesome. I'll close that for you now. We have $4.50 peak pay on DoorDash. Of course, that's only gonna help if they actually send us decent orders. We are at roughly $120 on the day, still waiting for our first good supper order to come in. That means we need $200 in the next 7 hours. I don't know if it's possible. It's happened before, but we need to get going soon. Let's Let's go! $15 for 4 miles from Bice Ristorante. This is a large order, catering order. There is definitely a chance of a hidden tip on here. Hopefully this is the start of the rush that we need. Are you kidding me? That Bice Ristorante order had a $70 tip on it. No stinking way. That blew my mind. I can't believe it. It was a big order, but it's $70. All right, so comment down below. It's not my biggest tip that I've ever gotten, but it might be the biggest tip I've ever gotten on DoorDash. So I'm blown away. And then as soon as we dropped it off, we got this next little quick hitter. It was $11 for 4 miles. So we are alive here. We're alive. We got a shot at $200 over supper time. So I'm going to go pick this up. I am just mind blown. Comment below on whatever your biggest tip that you have ever received was. For me, I have received a $100 cash tip. Once for delivering a pizza, I believe that was for Uber, and once for an Instacart grocery delivery. Blown away, so grateful and thankful for it. So there are some awesome customers out there. All right, on our way to pick up that Mel's Diner, and we also got on UberEats this Rosati's. I don't have the exact numbers, so I'll just put up what the order was or something like that, or the final total when it comes through. But I believe it was like $14 for 4 miles. We just dropped off that Rosati's pizza from 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock. We had a $95 hour. And then we got this Komun Thai sushi. Why did I take this order? I might regret it, and I'm willing to admit that I made a bad choice. $6.50 is base pay right now. So every bit of information I have from the app tells me that this is a no tip order. But a couple things I'm going with here. I know most of my sushi people around this town are good tippers. I know where I'm taking it to is an area that has good tippers. I know catering orders have good tips. So I may be wrong. I'll tell you as soon as I find out. Maybe it's a cash tip. Here's the story. The restaurant stole the tips. So I handed it directly to the customer as they requested. She said, hey, I took care of you on the app, enjoy. And when I clicked complete, there was nothing. But this was not an order placed through DoorDash. It was placed through the restaurant's website. So that means I have a restaurant that I need to be super careful about because they're stealing tips. All right, no time to get upset about that, but I do have a question below. Have you ever identified, like I just did, a restaurant that takes the tips? So the way this happens is when a customer orders through the restaurant website and they outsource it to DoorDash, it's up to the restaurant whether or not they pass the tip on. Now, of course, the person ordering believes the tip is going to the driver. They don't think it's going to the restaurant, but nobody tells them. Now, I wasn't going to tell her because it's not on her. She did her part, and I believe she was genuine. She looked me in the eye and she was genuine. But have you identified restaurants? Are there chains that tend to do that more than others? Is it just local stores on a case-by-case basis? So comment below if you've seen that before. After we delivered that, we got this $15 California Pizza Kitchen order just for 2 pizzas. We also got this quick little $7 for 1 mile True Food Kitchen. It was from the same complex that we were already in. So we picked it up, dropped it off, and now we are on our way with this California Pizza Kitchen order. We're trying to redeem this hour and get at least a 25. Everything dropped off, and we got a catering order. It's a $40 order that's the good news. What's the bad news? Well, first of all, it's taking me to the super north part of my zone. Like way north, and there is nothing out here. The other negative is it is 2 stops. There's a restaurant stop and then there's a 7-Eleven stop. I'm gonna be honest, try not to let it bug me, but the stolen tip does bug me. I think it actually maybe would bug me more than a non-tipper, because the customer had the expectation, and it really got me thinking a little bit more about this as I've had some time to process it. And again, I'm super grateful for the customers that I've dealt with today. I've had some just amazing tips and customers and over the past year. But it got me thinking, how many restaurants are really doing this? And how many times have you or I gotten upset or frustrated about a no tipping customer when maybe that wasn't the case at all? And I'm just really kind of pondering. I don't know what to do about it, because I've heard people say this has happened to them, but I've never knowingly experienced it myself. And so it certainly makes you wonder how many times you or I have received a no tip order and our thought or our expectation was, oh, that customer didn't tip. But what if all the time a lot of these no tippers were actually tipping and it was the restaurants that were stealing? I don't know. Just kind of pondering. I'd love to hear any of your thoughts on restaurants taking tips. So please post them below if you have any thoughts on that. We picked up the first part of that big catering order, and it was actually a lot bigger than I expected. This was 3 bags. It filled my entire catering bag. And we also found out that our Rosati's pizza order from before, that UberEats that we took, had a hidden tip on it. It was just an extra $3, but we will take it. We're gonna be so far north. In fact, I think we're actually gonna be out of our DoorDash zone. I am willing to drive the big miles. It's just gotta have big money to go with it. I am waiting in a line to get into this community to drop off this huge catering order, but I just noticed that from our earlier Instacart, they upped their tip. Now, I already thought they had done that, but maybe that was just an adjustment. But yeah, they added another $8 to the tip. So that's super exciting. Our Instacart is at $99 on the day. We still want to try to get back and finish that challenge.
It's not just a fountain, it's also a clock.
We got an order that I was not expecting. So I was ecstatic to get this for a couple reasons. One, I've actually eaten at Mellow Mushroom before, but I didn't even know there was one near me. I'm kind of excited to maybe come here myself sometime. The second thing is these are miles that are bringing me back towards my zone. So instead of just driving pointless miles, these are all miles that are basically bringing me back in the direction that I wanted to go anyway. For the second night in a row, I saw a huge order on UberEats Trip Radar, and for the second night in a row, I did not get it. We just got another order, a $17 California Pizza Kitchen order, and we were right at the spot. $17 for 7 miles. Always keep some extra drink carriers in your car. They had 3 drinks, but they were out of drink carriers, but I had spares in the car. Makes your life nice and simple when you plan ahead. Right, we just took this cheap little $7 for 4 3-mile order. It's really hard to screenshot these Instacarts because they go so fast, but I was just right at the Publix, so and it's just going to be a quick buy and drop off. One more. This will be number 4 of 6 for our Instacart challenge. Ice cream done. Yum. So we dropped off that ice cream order from Publix. Order number 4 of 6 that we need to get accomplished before midnight here. And surprise, surprise, he came out and gave us a $10 tip. So the night of awesome customers continues. Then after this, we picked up an order from UberEats from Johnny Malloy's, a little sports bar pub place that's in town here, but it brings us even closer to home. That order was dropped off from Johnny Malloy's. And then Uber keeping us going with the fire after 9 p.m. We are going to Miller's Ale House, another sports bar, so we are definitely cashing in on the football orders tonight with the game going on. So this is $17 for 10 miles. Again, high dollar for high mile, but we're gonna end up closer to home than when we started. We just found out that our ice cream order from Instacart from Publix, not only did they give us a $10 cash tip, they also increased the tip on the app by $5. So what we thought was a $7 and change order ends up being a $22 order. All right, so we just got this small little CVS order for some Tums delivered to a hotel. That is number 5. We need to get one more. We have about an hour to get one more order on Instacart. We got it. It's a horrible, lousy, rotten, no good, no tip order, but we got it. It's just 3 items. We have to drive about like 5-6 miles to get there. So, but it will accomplish our goal. We will make Instacart happy. We'll try to make this no tipping person happy by some good customer service. See if we can win them over to the dark side of tipping your drivers. We completed our mission on Instacart. Was it worth it? No, I really don't think it was. Not at the end of the day. I think it was a good thing to kind of start the day with. While I was driving the 7 miles there, I had to turn down this $18 for 8-mile order on UberEats. And I think that's just the general lesson is, what are you losing when you choose a poor order? And it's just kind of a good reminder. Like, yeah, we want to stay busy, but we don't want to take junk orders because there's always going to be something a little better than a junk order. I'm going to leave you in a little bit of suspense as to whether or not we made our goal for the day and for the weekend. So stay tuned to the end. Also, if you haven't yet, please comment down below anything that you've learned or any questions you have or requests you have for future videos. Please also subscribe. That's one of the biggest things that you can do. Even if you don't want to watch every single video that I make, I would just ask that you could just subscribe just to help get the algorithm going in our favor. So I do hope you enjoyed this and learned more. I'm toast. It is after 11 o'clock at night, so we've basically been out for 12 hours. We'll give you the tally for the day, and then if you haven't yet seen videos from Friday and Saturday, you can go back and watch all of those details. And then at the very end, we will scroll our tally for the weekend to see whether or not we completed our $1,000 weekend challenge. Thanks for tuning in.